Alright, so I got bored at work, and I want to show you guys how to Texas rig. First, you take your line, and you slip it through your weight. I use these bullet weights. Doesn't really matter how heavy or how light. This is just what I'm going with for picture purposes. I take my worm hook. I use EWG hooks, typically Gamakatsu. I slide my main line, or whatever line or leader that you're using. You want to feed it through that loop of the hook. Now you want to wrap it 7 times. I've heard people say 5 to 8 times, but I go with 7 because it's a lucky number. You want to wrap around that 7 times. It looks a bit odd because I'm using a chest rig, so bear with me. Once you get that 7th time, you want to feed that tag end through that tiny little loop. Not the loop on the hook, but the loop in the line right there. Once you feed it through there, you want to take either another finger, or me, I use my teeth. I know I shouldn't. And I pull it all together. Pull the hook, pull the leading line, and that tag end, and it cinches down. Very similar to all other knots. And then I trim my excess. Today I don't have my line cutters because I'm at work, so I'm just going to use a seat belt cutter on my knife. I try to keep probably like 1/8 of an inch there, but now I got my Senko. I'm going to feed it through that barb, just barely past the actual barb of the hook. Then I'm going to push it through. As I feed it through, I turn it over, right? And then I take my Senko or worm or what have you, and I find where it sits parallel and flush. Then I feed it through. Okay? But notice something's a bit off, right? Still got something sticking out. That's going to cause snags. So what you want to do is push that up onto the eye of the hook itself. Pull up on that Senko and just barely hide it right there. See? You will not get snagged.